Alright guys, Rapid Chess here with a video of the day and quick update on GCT Paris after round 6. Nepomniachtchi, Soa and Caruana with 7 points are leading, and 3 rapid rounds to go. Also, Firuja is not doing very well, but okay, he's down 2 points. He could do something about it, I think. And report one of these players who is now 11th, I think, Elo. And soon he will be 10th, but he is not, hasn't played, I think, a super tournament where with these guys before that, so it's quite ridiculous. Okay, so let's quickly see a couple of games I checked. So this is the first game between Nepomniachtchi and Vachier. Vachier is has been a chess prodigy. He has been like 10 years ago, like top maybe 15 years ago, top 5 possibly, but he has some issues with being very dedicated to chess. He likes to have fun parties and things like that, live normal life, not to study openings every day, but has been considered to be a chess player for to play elite for quite a long time before MVL. So this position, and Nepomniachtchi plays white. This is Sicilian defense, but I like this game because of the structure, and you can get the structure from the French defense as well. I played different Sicilians, also very common. You have this pawn on e5, and your opponent cannot place his knight on f6, and without this knight it's hard to defend the kingside position. If you're a good player, you will never castle queenside, I think, because just white will somehow get to your king, because it's really weak here and you cannot possibly get attack on the kingside. So an engine is very happy for black. He says that they have small advantage, even though not an advantage, but the position is equal. So Vachier played a5. I don't like this move. Just doesn't make too much sense to me. I'd like to play like bishop e7, play castles, and but Vachier wants to see what Nepomniachtchi will do first. So Ian played rook c1, very standard. In French defense, I recommend to make this move because the position normally is closed, but just don't leave your rook on a1. Even though you might think that this knight here just blocks your rook, it will find some work anyway. a4, taking space probably, and maybe he wants to defend his knight on c6 from this advance. Now it's more difficult, but he still loses some tempi. a3, taking away this b4 square, and then this knight should relocate to c4, but it's quite it's too tempi, it's a lot in every position. Yeah, so and again this knight here looks very fine, but what does it do there really? I can play something like rook c3, bishop c1, and again it's I think not the best plan for black. So he played bishop e7 and h4. Very common idea. You need your pawn like a weapon against this kingside pawns. You want to play h5, h6, sacrifice piece and win easily. Castles, rook c3. I would start with I I think knight to g5, but I think it's more precise move. You want to have more pieces against the king before you start the offense. Rook c8. This is a nice move. So you want to have luft for your king. Sometimes it can run away to safety, and also bishop f8 is a very good resource for black. Bishop normally can protect the king. Like in one interview, Anand was discussing some position, and he said that, well, in this position I might defend with one piece, yeah, against two. So this is what grandmasters think. Yeah, they just want to have a good position for their piece, so they can defend against even two pieces. But we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, and this bishop just not enough. And rook b3, very nice move. I wouldn't, let's say, it never would go in my mind. He wants to free his knight here from defense of this d4 pawn, and this was initially Ian's idea. You don't want to give up this d4 pawn, it will be a blunder. b5 and knight g5, starting offense, yeah. So Ian provokes this move h6, which Engine doesn't like. He prefers to play queen to e8. Again, like I said previously, you want to bring more pieces to defense, yeah. And but I think it's more complicated than you know, like because chess players, they always like say you have to be active, find counterplay, yeah, and this is quite passive way to defend. h6, knight to h3 is the best move. If you go back, then you cannot move your rook to g3, obviously, and king to h8. Because one of the white's idea is to play queen g4, and then this pawn will be pinned. Queen g4 anyway, and f5. Engine hates this move. Engine prefers bishop to f8, but I think he was afraid of something like rook to g3. The engine says that after knight to e7 it's about equal, yeah, but this is a threat, and obviously not easy to defend when your bishop is on f8, yeah, and you have this back rank issue. So, and very understandable, so he played f5, and I can tell you that grandmasters, they hate this move. Especially Carlsen, he says that I will do anything not to play this. And queen g6. Okay, standard attacking this h6 pawn, and queen cannot go to e8 because this e6 pawn is now a weakness. Yeah, after f5, then grandmasters see this that they have other point of attack. As also knight to f4 is huge threat. So now white is winning. He took queen h5, bishop back, and bishop takes h6. This move was very nice. If you take immediately, then takes, and still this bishop protects the g3 pawn. So before that, and if you take here, then it's queen h7, and black has this bishop on h4. So this is what Ian saw, and he played the best move, queen h5, pushing this bishop away, and he took and played rook g3, and this position Vachier resigned because he cannot protect this hc. If here, then it's made into, because rook and queen cooperate, and these rooks are cut off. All right, let's quickly check the game of Ian against of MVL against Ian. Flipboard. E6 Ian, I'm just showing it from black perspective, and I think this is reference to their candidates tournament where Ian lost the last game in the first half of the tournament, and it was also French defense. c5 and c3. So advanced variation for white, very good, one of the best there is. Knight c6, knight f3, and bishop to d7. I actually have some experience with this move. Also, I checked with one of the videos of Russian international master, and I tried a lot of these bishop d7s. And just what I know about this position, that white normally in some kind of Zugzwang. So bishop e2, one of the main moves, of course. Knight e7, h4, and f6. Also, I wouldn't play this move in this position, but it appears that already black takes over. Yeah. The only move that, according to agent, gives equality is taking, but MVL played h5. He decided, he wants to have h6 and play for this space advantage. Yeah, queen b6, and now you can notice that black already overdeveloped the white. Yeah, white was playing h5, h4, and black has crisis in the center, and the position becomes more and more. g4, bam. I don't know. I just thought that MVL might be thinking that, okay, Ian can play f5 and close the position, so I will have g4. And also he wants, I don't know, also attack the g5 square. Knight g8, again, move I wouldn't play myself, because Ian calculated that white has to take, and he will take back with the knight, which will give him good chances. Knight h3, this is quite standard, because you don't want to play knight to d2. Again, this knight here doesn't have perspective, you have to play knight f1 and knight g3, otherwise you block your bishop. Takes, 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 and bishop c5. You see that according to agent, black is winning. They attack this f2 square. These pawns protect the black's king. Normally when you exchange the pawn, white try to give check, but it's not possible, and black has excellent position. They're better developed, and they already attack. Knight b5, with the idea if black takes on f2, for instance, which is a good move. I don't know. Yeah, bishop c5 was the best. Yeah, just you won a pawn and you move your bishop back. It's important, of course, not to let white to control the board with knight to d6. So, right, b5, and Nepomniachtchi took, which is a good move as well. Takes and takes here. Just removing this knight and winning a pawn. Castles, knight f6, very understandable, just developing move, and I don't know, not sure that black wants to castle now to the king side, but you want to develop your knight first. Takes, takes, and g5. Yeah, actually not common for MVL to play games like this with this open king, but I think he played, this is like his last fashion, yeah, in his style to play that sharp lines. Knight e4, but I don't know, black is better. Yeah, they have this central knight, the king is better, and the pieces are better developed. I don't know, white's king is suspicious. Queen g4, queen b6, defending the pawn, g6, and castles. So now the position is equal completely. Yeah, The problem is that now black's king is exposed, yeah, so white can play rook c1 and attack it, and play something like bishop f4, one of the main ideas. That has been played, takes, rook c1, takes, and queen g6. So MVL sacrificed 2 pawns, but he has a good compensation. So this bishop is pinned, and this king really cannot go to b8 because of this powerful bishop on f4 and discovery winning the queen, for instance. f8 here, takes, and rook f2. The only move that gives black equal position is knight takes because of this threat, but Nepomniachtchi thought that this works as well, but it wasn't. Takes, takes, and in this position MVL found the only winning move basically for white is knight to d2, yeah, knight to d7, I'm sorry. Excellent tactical resource, after which black resigned because of the attacking the queen, and if, for instance, knight to g4, then it's rook c5 with check, yeah, and if rook takes, then it's queen f8 attacking the king, and bishop can capture the queen because it's pinned by this rook on c8. And if you play here, then it's rook c5, and again king cannot run rook d6, and queen f7 mate. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.